Yo, it's me, Doncho. Welcome back to the Hideout, you guys. And as you can tell from the title below, we'll be talking about Narutoshi Kamo? Nah. Brain-Kun? Yeah, that's the name we're going with. Brain-Kun. I'm not saying get two. I'm not saying Narutoshi Kamo. I'm saying Brain-Kun, okay? Just so y'all have it in y'all heads when y'all hear me say Brain-Kun throughout this video, don't get it twisted. I'm talking about that crazy ass brain inside my homie Ghetto's body, all right, you guys? That's who I'm talking about, okay? We are talking about Brain-Kun. I'm just so excited to talk about this video, you guys. Before we can get into it, as usual, I would like to say, if you like this stuff, man, if you love this type of content from me, your favorite below average Jujutsu Kaisen YouTuber, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of these videos, okay, you guys? And is there anything that you think I missed, anything that you want to talk about the topic, or anything else Jujutsu Kaisen related, please feel free to hit that comment box below, all right? And if you want to support the channel, we do have a Ko-fi, and we also have Patreon. So check out those links below as well. It'll be very much appreciated. So before we get into the video and talk about this crazy ass antagonist, intro. You guys, so we are talking about Brain-Kun, and in this video what I'm really going to do is that I'm just going to talk about Brain-Kun as I see him right now, and as I see him as a villain in Jujutsu Kaisen. Right now we have no concrete information on who this guy is, other than the fact that, one, he was around 1,000 years ago. Well, I'm not saying that he's only 1,000 years old, but he was around 1,000 years ago. The reason why you can't say he's only 1,000 years old is because he only said that over the last millennia, he has been doing these, getting these curses and doing these curse vows. So we know for a fact that he's been around for at least 1,000 years. And for everyone who keeps calling him Narutoshi Kamo, he is not Narutoshi Kamo. He took Narutoshi's Kamo body in the same way he took Ghetto's body. Now, I'm not going to say specifically the exact same way, because we don't know the situations under when he did that, but basically what I'm saying is that he took Narutoshi Kamo, who was his own person's body, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that the Narutoshi Kamo that we got told about, who basically is the Hitler, or aka the Stain of the three great families, wasn't an asshole beforehand, because as we know, Ghetto went down a dark path before his body was taken. So maybe there's some type of condition around it to where they have to be someone on the more negative spectrum of things. But then how would you regulate that? How would you notice that? But we also don't know the limits to curse energy. So who knows? Maybe there is something that could be there, because we have a literal brain with a mouth, okay? People forget that he has a mouth, okay? He has a mouth. We've seen the brain, and it has a mouth. So is a brain with a mouth taking over people's bodies. And even Shoko herself, back in the Mojito arc, when it was dealing, when Yuji was first fighting Mojito for the first time, Shoko says herself that the relationship between the brain and curse energy isn't known. Well, it isn't known to Jujutsu High. Clearly, now we know somebody out here knows how it works. And not even just that, because he's a brain himself. He talks about how he used Mojito's idol transfiguration to change people's brains so that now they can be sorcerers. That is absolutely crazy to me, and that in itself is something that you tell the Jujutsu High people that they're looking at you like, what the fuck do you mean? Because they, like they said, they don't know what the relationship is. So it's very interesting that he is showing that he really is 1,000 years old. Like, he's showing that he has knowledge that the current people not in the golden age don't have. So I find that really interesting. So we can mark off that this Brain-Kun guy is Narutoshi Kamo from 150 years ago. He took his body and probably was the one doing the experimentations with the cursed wombs and created Choso and stuff like that, but he wasn't the one to be actual Narutoshi Kamo. Like, he wasn't born Narutoshi Kamo, then does this brain technique, and now he's hopping through bodies. No, he did this 1,000 years ago, back in the golden age, back in the Heian era. And now we know that he was part of the Heian era golden age, and he's powerful. Clearly. I mean, this guy is sitting here brushing off everything that these people are sending at him like there is nothing going on. Like, he's breaking things with bare hands, dodging stuff very quickly. He even dodged Choso's piercing blood. Well, at least he moved out of the way. I don't think the piercing blood was really even aimed at Ghetto. I think it probably was aimed at Urarime, but at the same time, it was in the vicinity where it could have hit both of them. So he quickly was able to dodge that out of the way, even close range. And we know that move breaks the sound barrier. So we know this guy is actually very aware, very quickly, and he talks a lot of shit. Like, when Mai sat there, shot that little sniper, and man blocked it with the little transfigured human. He was acting chill. He was like, oh, good job. You know, I agree. You should use conventional weapons against sorcerers. So clearly he knows things and is doing things beyond what we know. So the other main things I want to talk about is just this guy's plan, right? And what exactly is he? And I want to break down his plan only so that I can break down his personality. Very interesting, right? So stick with me. So his plan revolved around him doing things that would cause the world to move. He literally says that something that's created from oneself cannot exceed one's potential, which is a very interesting thing to say. So he's saying that something that I create or something that I manifest can't outgrow my potential. So he said, so the next best thing I can do is to create an opportunity for other people to create things and see where that goes and where their potential can go. This is a villain who, instead of taking the mindset of, I am going to be the center of everything, I'm going to control everything, I want all the cursed energy, all the power for myself, he's taking no, I'm going to sit back and give out a whole bunch. Like he's like, I'm about to give out a whole bunch of this cursed energy, of this stuff, so that we can see who else out here is going to do these things, who else out here is going to chase after certain potentials and certain things to see where this cursed energy can go. So he believes he literally says I have to create chaos outside of myself. He believes that he has to create issues, problems, things outside of just his bubble. So instead of trying to become a villain who controls the world, he's literally trying to make the world go loose. He's not looking for a world where only cursed spirits rule, and he's not looking for a world where cursed spirits don't exist anymore and there's peace. He's looking for a world of just chaos. The key words he says is, he doesn't say the golden age, the age of curses. He said the golden age, the age of cursed techniques. The age of cursed techniques, which means he's chasing after the age where sorcerers and curses alike are just powerful. Where curses and sorcerers are just powerful. Everybody out here is powerful. That's the new world that he's chasing for. He's not trying to be the center of attention. And that's a dangerous villain. That's a very dangerous villain, because that's a villain who don't give a fuck. Like he said himself, for the two girls who were under Ghetto, originally from the prequel and that who he saved in chapter 77 of the OG manga, he says to them, regret. I haven't felt that in a long time, and sits down and waits for the prison realm to finish, you know what I'm saying, absorbing Gojo, finish, processing Gojo. That is a very, very powerful thing to be said, because he literally says right then and there, I ain't felt regret in a minute. Like, I don't know what that mean no more. So he has nothing he's attached to. There is nothing he's attached to. He isn't attached to anything. So since he isn't attached to anything, what does that mean for him? What is genuinely your driving force? He seemed sad almost when he talks about human potential. Like, he talks about how there has to be more than just non-sorcerers, sorcerers, and curses. He's like, those are just possibilities. He says those are just things that can be. He said there has to be more to human potential, and he wants to optimize cursed energy. So he's talking about turning cursed energy into a literal power source. He's talking about turning cursed energy into something that literally can be monopolized and used by Japan as a way of just energy, like electricity. It's hilarious that he talks about it being optimized in that way, like a regular power source. It automatically made me think about Gojo explaining cursed energy to Yuji, where he says, think about cursed energy like electricity. He said, think about it like an appliance. You said the raw magical power is the electricity itself in your wall, right? But you have to plug up an appliance for it to be used a certain type of way. So if you go with Gojo thinking the best way he can explain cursed energy to Yuji is through explaining electricity, and then you have Brain-Kun talk about, oh, we can monopolize this and make this a power source, automatically, it just makes me go, okay, there's more to cursed energy. It's not just a thing that runs on your emotions and now you can use powers, and then if you're not a sorcerer, because of you being a regular human, your negative emotions come outwards and create a curse. Now, through Tengen's barrier, stuff like that, he's trying to talk about that natural energy being used and manifested to control stuff like electricity and technology. That is profound, because he's literally looking for more potential of cursed energy. That's his goal. His goal for doing all of this is to figure out where can it go. He's bored. I think it's boredom. I think it's a mix of boredom and him really trying to see where all of this can go. And I don't know if he really knows Sukuna. I think he does, personally. I'm very unaware if he knows Sukuna because his wording, like his words, he'll listen, Sukuna, are you listening? The Golden Age is coming back. But if he's somebody who knows Sukuna like how you may know Sukuna, why he ain't just do what you may do, roll up on Sukuna, yo, da-da-da-da. Well, maybe he couldn't because of the prison realm. That could be a thing. But why didn't you may say, hey, Brain-Kun, or what his real name is out here with us right now. Maybe that was just too much for Akutami to have them say for writing purposes and story. That could also make sense as well. Other than that, I really do think that this guy, he's just as old as Sukuna, and he knows everything about Sukuna, and he's trying to get Sukuna back on his, like, hey, it's Golden Age time, and we are about to really get to it, and I want this Age of Chaos to come back so that cursed energy can now get back focused on. He believes that humanity will reach its next level when it optimizes cursed energy. Optimize is a very key word. A very key word. Because when you say optimize cursed energy, you're literally saying break it down, figure out what it is, and take it and make it something else, siphon it, use it for something else. It's going back to the electricity thing. So it's really just making me wonder who this Brain-Kun person is. What is his drives? What is his true personality? I don't know if we've seen his true personality yet, because we know that Ghetto is popping out here and there and he starts acting like him and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, when you look at like the prequel, you look at how Ghetto was, he's not too different than how Brain-Kun acts. So it makes you wonder how much of that fine line is really being crossed, how much is really being mixed, and how much is Brain-Kun and how much is Ghetto just being influenced, influencing Brain-Kun, you know what I'm saying? It's very interesting, this Brain-Kun guy, and I'm going to do another video on him once we get more information. But I think talking about the things he's talking about the way he's come about, and talk about the way that he's been breaking stuff down and he's been explaining cursed energy and the way he's been acting is already giving us an insight to how kind of lonely he is. I get a very lonely feeling off of him. Like he feels very, I'm acting like I'm this big bad, I understand everything and I'm above what all of you can do, but I'm really alone in my thoughts. Nobody else is understanding the world like how I understand the world. Nobody else is looking for the progression of cursed energy how I'm looking for the progression of cursed energy. And so for him to do all of this meticulous plotting all this time, he's the reason why Megumi's sister passed out with sleep. He's the reason. It's like we finding out all this information and you go through this story thinking these things will be revealed as something else later, but we find out no, all of this is intertwined because of this one guy. And then you wonder if Sukuna was the king of curses and everyone was scared of him, but nobody knows who you are. I mean, I know you probably been moving covert, hopping from body to body, but nobody knows nothing. There's no record history, nothing of somebody, of someone taking bodies and being a fake person. People, there's no history records of this. Either he's one sly mofo, or he ain't get the shine that he probably wanted to have back in the Golden Age. So maybe him and Sukuna could have been rivals. Maybe he was envious of Sukuna. There's so many different ways that this could go, especially with how the Heian era was in the past and how Buddhism became such a big thing back in the Heian era. It really makes you wonder what exactly Brain-Kun is and who exactly he is in terms of personality, and what is he getting inside of himself? What stimulus is he feeling inside of himself from bringing the world back into the Golden Age and bringing the world into the age of where curse techniques are everything? And why does he want to optimize curse energy? You were around during the Golden Age. You didn't learn what you wanted to learn then, so now you want to bring it back? So what exactly happened in the Golden Age? With this character, Gege Akutami has brought so many questions in and so many things that have become an interest to me that I could talk about this for an hour. I can give you guys an hour video, but of course I'm not going to do that. Other than that, there's nothing else I want to talk about this Brain-Kun guy, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and what you guys want to talk about. This video was really just me wanting to sit down and give you guys incohesive and kind of cohesive thoughts on what I think about this Brain-Kun character. And this is only the first video I'm going to do on him. There has to be another video on him once we get more concrete information on him. But right now, talking about the speculations, talking about the theorizing is the main thing I want to talk about. So this isn't necessarily even a character discussion. This is literally just a character theorization. That's what I'll call it. I'll make a whole new playlist and call this character theorization for you guys. And I think that'll be a really, really cool playlist we can do for any manga, but specifically Jujutsu Kaisen, anytime we get characters that we want to know who is this guy and what is this guy on. I think that'll be a really, really interesting thing to start doing with you guys. But as always, I have to say thank you guys. This is Doncho, and thank you for coming to the channel. If you want to support the channel, like I said, please make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, the bell icon, and spam that comment section, you guys. And if you do want to give us some monetary support, check them links. Check that coffee link, and check that Patreon link. We appreciate you out here. You know what I'm saying? That's love. But as I always say, it is me, Doncho. Peace. Young Noise.